Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and as you guys know, it is March Madness time, man. Now, listen, guys, we didn't get a chance to do the warning or anything like that. I didn't program the show early, so we got to give some people time to join the chat and everything, and we're going to stall for a little bit, man. Brian, I know you heard the latest rumor. Looks like our guy, Fiva, may be testing free agency. Did you see the messages on Instagram and converted to Twitter?
I did.
Are we concerned about this, man? Do we think that he was someone that was coming back?
I think that we probably did. I mean, I thought he would be coming back, but just because he's testing for agency doesn't mean he's not coming back. He's got to see what his market value is coming off the year he had, you know?
Right, yeah. Yeah, we got to see what happens, man, and you're absolutely right. Just because he's going out there to get some information doesn't mean that he is not returning. So we're going to have to hold it down. Now, guys, if you're out there, this is your 15 minutes to send those questions in. Melissa, Big Heck, you guys type them up and send them in here, man. This is your opportunity to ask the crew whatever questions you want tonight, all right? The clock is starting. So make sure you guys get those questions in here. You know, the last show we had, there were a lot of really good questions and the ones that we couldn't even get to afterwards. But I'm wondering if we should, like, start taking a tally of them and then answer them then, or, you know, just keep people coming in here for the live and have them go ahead and answer it. Here's the first question of the night. Oh, no, that's not the one I wanted to click. It's from Mariah Lee. What's up, fam? I think that was for the chat more than us, but I thought it was pretty cool to put it in there. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Melissa sends us our first official question. $4 million you're willing to pay DJ Jones. Wouldn't that be better spent on Kerry Hyder?
For me personally, yeah, I would bring back Kerry Hyder over DJ Jones.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that I would rather spend it on DJ Jones only because I think with Nick Bosa coming back, the unknown future of Ford, that creates a little bit of a value for Hyder there, right? But the thing is, I also think the Niners draft or get someone in free agency. So I understand what Hyder did and all, but Hyder isn't going to see all those snaps and all those reps and all that opportunity if things go the way I think they are going to go. So that's my answer there. This one's from Big Heck here. If Trent walks, does tackle become a bigger need over the defensive back position?
I don't know. There's quite a few available out there. It's just about whether or not you feel like they're a good fit for this system or not. You know, and if you don't feel like free agency is a place where you can target somebody, then there's a few in the draft as well that we're actually seated, pretty good at, you know, as far as having the 12th pick. So either way, I think that we're good, whether he comes back and we have a backloaded contract for him or he walks and we save that money for somebody else.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that I still think the center position is a little bit more important. I know that sounds crazy and the value of the tackle versus center and all, but we had Trent last year, and where were the issues coming from? They were coming from up the middle. So you can lock down anything you want on the edges, but if you don't have the middle game, you're in trouble, man. You're in trouble. This is a similar question. If Williams walks, would you give up McGlinchey and a third-round pick for Orlando Brown and then draft a right tackle like Jalen Mayfield for Michigan?
Regardless if he walks or not, I think that a third-round pick and McGlinchey are not enough to get you Orlando Brown.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I like the proposition here, and I would say that if the team were up for it, I would do it. But the thing is, I think the Niners like Mike McGlinchey. I really do. I think they haven't given up hope on him yet. So we'll see what happens, though. All right. Would you trade Jimmy in for a trade for Gilmore? I think we kind of went over that the last couple of shows, but in short, I think the answer is yes, right?
I would not, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think Gilmore is at the back end of his prime time, and I have yet to see what a healthy Jimmy can do, and it can, you know, other than our one season. So I would like to see what else he can bring to the table, unless they have some other plan for quarterback. If they have a different plan for quarterback, then yeah, sure.
Right, then this is a whole different animal there. Teron Lewis asked a really good question here. He says, do you think offensive tackle Sean Coleman will be healthy and make an impact next season? Guys, this is our swing tackle here. The Niners paid some decent money to retain him, and then he went on the COVID list last year. It's a good question. What do you think?
Because we don't know what kind of shape he's going to come back in. I can't speak to what kind of impact, but he was our swing tackle. He's been out for a year. As long as he stayed healthy, there's no reason he can't come back and continue that role unless they find someone to upgrade.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fella Nooney says, is there a cornerback good enough to go get at 12? I'll go first here. I'm going to say yes. I actually think that there are two that are going to be top 10 picks, but I think with the way the top 10 is going to shake out, they'll fall. One of them will fall, maybe both. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I can only go off of what until they've all had their pro days. But I think that the general consensus is that there's three that'll go in the top 15,
right.
with J.C. Horn being probably at the bottom, even though there's some people out there that think he's the best cornerback in the draft. So, but you have him, you have Surtain, and you have Farley that are options. Right at that 12 number.
Okay. Ian Sharp says, worth bringing Reed back on a cheap 1-year deal. I believe we did this one also. This is the tight end, Jordan Reed. And I would do it. I would
too.
All right. Another trade, Jimmy G in a 12th pick to Patriots for 15 and Gilmore.
Again, this would have to be wrapped around the thought process of that we have a different quarterback plan. As we know, it sits right now, Jimmy G is the guy. And until we know otherwise, it's hard to pontificate whether or not that would be something that's, when you're looking at the value, though, to fall back only 3 and get a potential starting cornerback. I mean, like I said, if they have a plan for quarterback, then sure. You're not really losing that much in the first round. 3 selections, and I'm sure there's another person within those 3 selections that are going to be on our draft board.
Yeah. I'm going to just say yes. I would do it if they did it, but we don't know. We'll see. Do you think an Alex Smith reunion should happen? I'll go first here. I'm going to say no, just because I don't think I think he would be a phenomenal backup here, but I think the team is looking for something a little bit more exciting. I'll keep it at that.
Yep, I agree with you 100%.
All right. I'm going to show this question, but we're not going to answer it here. He said, is Jimmy going to New England? We don't know. He says, in your opinion, we don't know. Do you think he's going to New England in short? No. All right. Melissa says, does Jordan Willis come back? Seemed more like with the news linebacker news mentioned with Dwelly.
I'm not sure about that news about our linebackers. I didn't see anything. I would like to see him come back, at least for another year deal or a 2-year deal. I don't know if they'll do it, but I would like to see him back. We traded for him.
Okay. All right. Renzo, I see the question. I don't quite know whether, do you think the Niners are keeping it on the I'm sorry. I don't know, man.
I don't think they're going to trade Jimmy.
All right, here we go. What if we could restructure him? You trade for Zach Ertz. Say we only have to give up a 4th or lower. I wouldn't touch Zach Ertz at all, whether he's available or not. I wouldn't touch him. What do you think?
Like there's other options out there that are better.
Okay.
More consistent, healthy.
Would it be better to trade Jimmy before or after free agency? If we're going to do it, I would do it. I would like to do it during. Well, that's not really a question. Well, see, during is after. So I would like to do it after because you want to see what you can get your hands on also. So that's my answer. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, before, like I said, again, it's going to all depend on whether or not they have a plan in place to replace Jimmy with another quarterback. But if that is the plan, then I would like to get my hands on that necessary money so I can make the moves that I want to move as soon as I can make them. So if you can get it done before free agency, then great. But like you're saying, you want to see what's available also.
Master Sith 40 has a contribution. Chilling your candlestick. Cheers from San Francisco. Thanks for the contribution, man. We really appreciate it. Here we go. Do you think the Niners trade up or down? Which one is more likely?
Well, I think you're going to get both. I think they're going to trade back in the first, and then they're going to trade probably back into the first, or maybe find another way to trade back into the second to come back up. So you're going to see a little bit of both. They have the picks to do it. So I think draft day will be or the 3 days, the draft weekend will be pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's talking about from the 12 spot, and I think we're actually more likely to trade up than trade down. We have 10 picks as of right now. And
go ahead.
I think they probably have a guy at 3 major positions that they think they'll be right in reach of. And if one of those guys are there at 10, 9 or 10, I think they might try to jump up and get them. So I think we're probably more likely to trade up. Now, if all of those guys are gone, then obviously they would trade back. But I'm going to say up as of right now.
My only issue with that is the value of the trade picks themselves, because our jump from second to our third round pick is a significant difference. And obviously, I would think that you wouldn't want to use your second to trade up a couple of spots. But our third round, because of it's a comp pick for the hiring a Saleh, you're only going to get like 85 points for that thing. So it barely moves you up one slot when you're using the point system the NFL uses.
Yeah, no, they'll figure that out. Futures, whatever they got to do, they'll figure it out. But I do think that if there's someone there and they feel like a team before them is going to go after, I think they try to leapfrog somebody. We've seen them do it before. Do you think Kyle will let his offensive coordinator really take control of the offense?
No.
No, I think this is just another checks and balances and another way to secure your roster. You don't want them going anywhere outside of the organization. You promote them to that position so they don't go anywhere, and I think that's what this was.
Yep.
But it is a checks and balances, but taking control, no. I do think you'll have input, though. Do you think the Bears are interested in Jimmy and use that to force Patriots to offer more since Jimmy is Patriots plan A?
I honestly don't think there's another team in the league that's honestly interested in trading for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay. Do you think Asante Samuels will be there at 43?
That's a good question. I think no. I think he's going to end up going at the back end of the first or early in the second round. Like the Jets could take him, because they will have already had 2 picks. So if they're waiting to hold off on upgrading their cornerback situation, but no, they'll take him right there in the beginning of the second.
That's the 11th pick of the. That's a good question. That's the 11th pick of the second round. But I'm gonna say no. I think he slides into the first. You'd be surprised at what name and all does in the NFL. But he is a talented young man, so he has all that. Here we go. Another one. Bring back Emmanuel Sanders for leadership. I'm gonna keep it quick. No. Okay. This one. Do you fear Ward may take a step back if Tart walks, since everyone calls him the Merry Duo? I'm going to say no. I think Ward has played plenty without Tart. I think he's very confident, and he knows the team loves him. He has lasted through so many different regimes. He seems to be the guy the 49ers just seem to love and can't get rid of. I think he'll play fine.
And my concern with Ward is not wrapped around his partner Tart. It's more around whether or not he can stay healthy throughout the whole season. We've seen him in his earlier part of his career be Mr. Glass, and I don't want to see that come back.
Yeah. Who's your favorite sleeper pick for the 49ers in the draft? Mine is quarterback Jamie Newman. I guess that would be a sleeper. Someone I don't think who will go in the first round. I don't know if you have one or not.
Sewell slips and they get him. They can trade up to get Sewell. That's the only move I would trade up for.
Okay. All right. I don't know what people consider a sleeper, but Christian Darrisaw is a guy that I like in the first round. The tackle from Virginia Tech. I don't know if that's considered a sleeper or not. So I don't really know what they meant, like a sleeper in the first round, or did they mean, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
All right. We got about 30 seconds left. This is a long one here. The Titans put last year's first round pick Wilson on the trade block. Would you take a chance on him, say for a third? I'll go first. I'll say no. They're getting rid of him for a reason.
But I would trade for him for our third, because our third is basically a 4th round pick.
Good point there. Good point. And that's going to do it. We're out of here.